From Ocean City, Maryland to Camden, New Jersey. From Lynchburg, Virginia to St. Louis, Missouri. Let's ride. We want to ride shotgun with you for the next hour, talking trucking with Dean and Doty. So, you notice anything, Christian?
Man, it's very white in that picture.
Wow. Is your face cold?
So there's a good story here, and we're gonna jump right into it because I went big, and after Christian, yeah,
Wow, it was Photoshop.
So, is that a leprechaun?
yeah, I was going in for the kill. I was gonna try and win this contest,
I was gonna vote for you.
and Zach's girlfriend Kelly came over. They were over Thanksgiving night after dinner, and she dyed my beard. It was supposed to come out dark.
Time out, Russ.
It was supposed to come out dark blue.
There's a glass of wine in the photo. This is a bad idea.
No, he was.
There was
we got
several
there,
glasses
and he
of
had
wine.
already.
It was Thanksgiving night. So anyway,
Kinda like
yeah, you
the
can
next
share it.
picture.
So she, it was supposed to come out dark blue, and I was going in for the kill. I thought, I'm winning this contest, right? Even Joel said you were gonna win this, and
With that stunt.
but
Until I
There
saw
we go.
Christian.
there you go. That's out in the
Look at
garage.
that boy.
But it just kept getting lighter and lighter, and then by Sunday, I looked like Papa Smurf, and I wouldn't leave the house. So I had no choice.
You'd be arrested.
It had to come off. I had to go to the grocery store on Sunday, and I'm like, I can't do it.
He kept shouting "Bluebeard Revolution."
Yeah.
So is that why Michigan beat Ohio State?
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's
And why the Browns lost
Lost the
too.
bet, yeah.
yeah.
Wolverines for life.
The funny thing is, I think AC, our driver, because he was in on it with me, and Jim Mackey and Kevin and Nate, I tried talking them into doing it because we were all texting, and Ray, and they're like, no way. I even tried to talk Jim Mackey's mom, Jim, right? Mom was like, no. I asked her to dye her hair blue. She's like, how old's mom? 82. She was laughing. No.
By that
no.
time, most of the old ladies already dye their hair blue.
I know, right?
I was sitting at the dinner table with three older ladies right there.
And I
we
sent you
was all
that
in this
picture.
Conversation, and he said, "No, don't you do it? Don't you do it?"
I tried to get Mackie to do it, and then I sent him the picture. I was trying to get Kevin to do it too, and Nate's like, I
That's
don't know.
why I didn't do it, because you didn't stick to it.
But I stuck to it for 3 days.
I knew that's what was going to happen. But you never left the house. That doesn't count.
But Russ, the funny thing is you were punished once having it blue. And by the way, you shave. Tina's right. You shave like 40 years off your face.
I know.
I mean, like,
For sure.
I'd be carding you if you're trying to buy cigarettes. But the second part is, at the end of this, people get to vote who has the nicest beard. And you know what happens to the loser? We get to
Yeah.
tell them what to do with their facial hair. So, like, this process may start all over again for you.
Yeah. Well, also, so like Lee Harrison did when he didn't make it through, he's paying $150.
Yep.
So I put up my $150 on top of the $250 prize there already is. I'll pay the $150 to St. Jude's, like Lee did. So yeah, I know I'm out and I failed.
You're way out, bub. You're way out.
But if you could have only seen me Sunday and Tina, we were at the house and I needed to go to the grocery store. And I'm like pacing the floors, trying to work up the courage to leave with it on. And then I was like, maybe I can put a gator mask on.
Yeah, you should have just wore one
Yeah,
of
I
those
was
gators. Yeah.
I know, but I didn't have one. So then I'm looking at like an old T-shirt I could wrap around my head. Finally, I gave in and I shaved it.
You'd have been stuck at the checkout line for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I thought your camera was broken. We're like going live. You're doing the countdown.
No.
I'm like, why is this camera not on? And I'm like, hey, man, your camera's broken. And here we go. The grand reveal.
Because you and Doty didn't know. I didn't say
Yeah,
anything.
that's insane.
But what was funny is, so when I shaved it, my face was blue. It was dyed blue.
Yeah.
So it's been sore for 3 days now because I had to use Tina's facial cleaner, which she doesn't know. I used almost the whole bottle. She'll find out. But and scrub with a rag over and over and over again to get the blue out.
Yeah.
Which I did. Now my face is still really sore.
I'll be honest. You look a lot less tan. You look like you almost bleached yourself in the process.
I think
Like, you
I
look
did.
very white right now. That's great.
And it burned. And just
He was
I've never
breathing
had-
through a straw.
At one point I was breathing through a straw because all the fumes from the dye that she was putting in my beard was going right up my nose.
Does she do this professionally or?
No, she doesn't. She doesn't do hair professionally, right?
no, her mom
she-
does.
Her mom.
But she knows how to do
She
it.
knows how to do it. Yeah.
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 I'd like to, if I could get that picture. I've got a couple T-shirts I've been thinking of since we've been talking. If I could get that picture to my email, that would be great.
Do
Particularly
you want
before
just his
Christmas.
head cut out too? That'd be even better.
Yes, I'm gonna put that on my wall. Just a giant fat head on the wall.
There's no shame in my game. I guess you can go ahead and send it. But there was
I was
walking
gonna
out
say,
the
if
door.
nobody else wants to, I've got it too. I'll send it to you.
Oh
Yes,
yeah, they
at
got it
100%.
too.
Yeah, I'll send it. I'll send it to you, Christian.
Next order,
Please do.
Blue beard
Send
revolution.
that picture.
Yeah.
Blue Beard Revolution. That's
I
great.
tried. And matter of fact, AC Sunday before I shaved it, he texted me and he's like, "Hey, what color is that dye? Where'd you get it? Can you send me the picture of it?" So I sent him the picture of the bottle, told him I got it at Target. He joined the revolution, and I think he dyed his. I'm
Really?
not sure if it's done yet, but he doesn't know I shaved mine. He will when the show comes out.
Wow, that's a good hazing.
Yeah. So anyway, well, welcome to the episode 34, guys. Joining us today on the show, as always, Christian Sneed from the Dawson Desk, Mike Doty, the original Florida man, Joel Howell with sports, Ian Dunlap on the news, and as always, Ray, Jim Mackey, Nate, and Kevin. Today's show, Trucking News with Ian, Sports with Joel. Our drivers are going to battle Kumar in Trucking Questions with Kumar. We talked a little bit about the beard contest. We can bring it up a little more if you guys want. There's a few weeks to go. I really thought I thought Patrick Franks with his beard, he looked good. I thought he was leading, and when we did those pictures, and I thought that blue beard was going to put me over the edge, but it didn't
Nope.
work out that way.
The edge of sanity, probably.
Yeah.
Blue Light
And-
Special.
Blue beard special. And then winter driving tips. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Kumar brought up some good points that he gave to me. We'll go over. Kumar, did you send that to Christian and Mike too?
I did.
Okay, good. There's some on there pretty funny. So a couple things in the market. I don't know what Christian you've been seeing or Doty, but rates according to the DAT. I just popped on there today just to check out things. Last week was slow with the holiday and all, but rates are up already the first couple days of this week, 5 cents per mile on all equipment, and probably rising going into the holiday push here for Christmas. West Coast port congestion is getting a little better. Ian's going to touch on that in a little bit, but we're down to 51 ships anchored as of yesterday. That's anchored right outside the Long Beach port. Ian and I were looking at it today. There's about 200 ships. If you go out, was it 50, 60 miles, maybe 100 miles, Ian?
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of drifting around out there. And the guys on the DAT mentioned that too, that there's 51 anchored, but there's a lot of ships. There's maybe 100 to 200 sitting out there
Better
drifting
optics.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Average wait time to get empty is 3 weeks still. So give you an idea how that's going. LA to Phoenix, we run a lot of this. We've talked about it on the show. Round trip we do. So we're deadheading back because it's worth it with the time and all that. But 483 plus fuel is the average. We're doing better than that. We're getting $2,000. You know.
For what
but-
lane? The Phoenix lane?
Phoenix, yeah, it's 300 miles, 483 plus fuel. Fuel's almost 50 cents, so you're talking like 530 a mile on average, but which that's probably, I don't know, 1,600. But we're getting close to 2 or a little over every time. So that's still going strong. What about you, Mike? What do you? Oh, you're doing a lot of that port stuff with our guys at Metal Arc port loads.
That's the second
Ye-
cough. Just
Yeah.
three
so-
strikes, you're out. 3 strikes, you're out, Joel.
My eardrums are
Always to
busted.
go.
Yeah, that was actually a ship that got rerouted over to Mississippi instead of Houston. So they got to get all those loads. They usually just pull them out of Houston there to San Antonio and Dallas. And now they got to get them from Mississippi to there now. I'm not sure why they rerouted the ship. I would assume backed up or something.
Backed
I
up,
don't know.
probably.
Yeah.
I know Jesse is at, because we put Jesse down there on it. He lives in Mississippi, so it kind of works out for him until it's over. But we were adding it up together, Mike, the other day. Jesse's at 8,700 in the first week he's on it. That'll be by Monday morning. So
Yeah,
It's not
even
bad.
week he'll be at somewhere. I think I don't know what I got him for the loads back, but he'll be somewhere between 87 and 9. I think it was.
yeah,
Um,
on low miles.
yeah. The ones were paying I think 19 on like 480.
Mhm.
And then the other ones, I forget what they were, like 600 miles over to San Antonio. I think those are 24.
Yeah,
But,
that's not bad. So that's consumed Mike lately. I don't think you've got a bunch of guys on that, don't you, Mike? 3 or 4?
Some, yeah. I got like Tim pulled one because he's going to be one that's going to be running out of Southern California. So I just got him one over to Texas, and then from Texas over to Vegas, actually, because I got him a better rate going into Vegas than Southern California. So
What'd you get on that? Because Zach and I were looking for Jordan to go from Laredo Friday to. We were looking at Vegas loads.
So the reason when he came out of the house, the plan was he wanted to go to Southern California for the rest of the year because his in-laws live there in San Diego. So he could kind of just run out of there. His wife's going there in like a week. And he could run out of there. So I got him one of those Mississippi loads over to Shirts, Texas, which is basically San Antonio. And I thought I was going to have to run him down to Laredo to get him a load out. That's why I got him a load to San Antonio so he could dead end to Laredo if needed, because I figured that'd be the best rate to California rather than Dallas or somewhere like that. And I'm looking for his name.
It was a
right
little
now.
early today. Right before we got on here, Zach called on one that, I think it was $3,000, or it was he was at 28,
Yeah, it's also
29.
2 days away too.
2 days away to get to Vegas from Laredo.
Yeah,
You
no,
guys-
this was right out of San Antonio, a
Mm-hmm.
couple miles from where he picked up, and I got him 28.50 for
Okay, so you
to
didn't have
Vegas.
to do the deadhead. What were you gonna say,
Yeah,
Christian?
no.
I just don't know how many. If you guys are booking, it's still days in ahead, or with the market moving up, are you guys still
Not-
pinching mornings?
We're really doing a lot of day of stuff still. We were Zach was just kind of poking around right before the show to see what it was paying now, and we didn't take it. And we both, after he hung up on it, we both said no. We'll wait. Wait till day
It's
of.
funny how there are some nervous markets, even in stuff like this, where they still say, "Well, we still got to get it out early and pay a premium."
Yeah.
But you're right. We're mostly moving same day just so we can keep the rates pushed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam, who is our flatbed driver, he's new with us. He's been with us before. He's a good guy. But Sam was on Tom the other day, and they're new working together. Tom's booking him. But he was like, I need a pre-plan, because that's how we used to run him a few years back. And Tom's like, no, not now. We don't want to do that right now. And
There'd be a time for that, but not now. Yeah.
it's not right now. Right. So
Yeah, I've been booking guys out a little bit, but for the most part, the ones I've been booking out though are the ones that have just been running back and forth to Mississippi because I can
that's
just
on
get them a
customer
load
freight.
right back, and just go. But yeah, Tim ended up at 28.50 on that load to Vegas. It was a little over 1,200 miles, so I think it was like 238 a mile he got,
And he didn't have to deadhead down from San Antonio to Laredo. So the load we were looking at, Jordan delivers in San Antonio on Friday, and then we were looking deadheading him. But
to Laredo.
yeah, we were just poking around too to see what it was today, but we'll wait.
It seems like going that way. If you can get better than $2 a mile, you're doing okay. It seems like there's a lot for trying to push $1.25, $1.35 a mile going that way. But if you can, like this one, I think was close to 240. It was like 238 or something like that.
Yeah, and if you're taking that $1.30 and you're listening to this show, please stop for everybody else.
Right, for our
Thank
sake.
you. Yeah, please.
Because we're not.
Yeah, and they're posting it out there because there is someone somewhere taking this freight like that,
Right.
and I wish they would know better.
Because, when you do that and you balance it out, you're going to get the big money coming out of SoCal. But when it really brings down what you're on your round trip. It really brings it down if you're taking that kind of
It's
rate.
supply and demand. We can demand more. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
They need the
Right.
trucks, and if you have to wait till the day of, the morning of, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, yeah, and they're getting it. They're moving freight for that west because of the rates coming out of there. But I can't see. You know, when I
But
did,
why
when I
not
added
win?
it up-
But why not
Yeah,
win
no,
both
no.
ways? You know.
I know, I agree. That's why, and he was already wanting to head that way. So I definitely wouldn't have ran him. He lives in Alabama. I wasn't going to run him from Alabama straight there. You know, it ended up being with that Mississippi load. He ended up with getting 5250 to go. You know, from basically. Actually, no, I take that back because I got him a short load. No, never mind. 5250 from basically Mississippi to Vegas.
Yeah, that's not bad. So if you guys,
because he's going to clean up, because I got him a load that picks. Again, we were looking at Vegas to Southern California, and I'm like, man, let's not. He's delivering in Vegas Friday, and then pick a load up for $900 or whatever to go to Southern California. I said, let's scratch that idea. Let's find a load that picks in Southern California or near Southern California Saturday, use Friday to Deadhead.
yeah, because if you are going to get, that's why we started doing the Deadhead instead of loading over from Phoenix or Vegas, because you are going to get hung up on the delivery. Mm-hmm. You're going to get detained. Everywhere in SoCal is backed up.
Yeah. Yeah. So I got him. I ended up getting him, and he actually didn't have to go all the way into Los Angeles. It's picking up, I forget the city, but it's about 180 miles from Vegas into California, and it's going up to near Reno. It's about a 440-mile run. I got him $2,500 for that, and then but it picks Saturday, delivers Sunday, and I got him a run back Sunday that can pick Sunday back to Southern California that I got him $1,300 for.
Yeah.
So it wasn't bad for the
weekend.
You know, I think he ended up with 25, 35, I don't know, $3,900 for the weekend on maybe 1,000 miles.
Christian, you guys been running any trucks out west into that area?
Two of them. Well, I've got one out in Washington now, and one that was run out towards Nevada. And, you know, we like to stay in that Midwest area a lot. Kill back and forth. And I know we've talked about this before. We both run equally successful, but equally different operations too. Yeah. Some guys enjoy running that way. But, you know, I think part of it is trying to make sure that we keep elevating those rates. And I think, you know, part of it is when you're in areas where you can round trip, come back, you know, you can slaughter at Deadhead back and grab another one, slaughter at Deadhead and come back. But a lot of our guys' home time and based on where they live is not as conducive to that market, because most of them are east of the Mississippi. They're mid-Atlantic. You know, we have some guys northeast too.
Yeah.
Tom was telling me yesterday, matter of fact, on the phone, he posted two of our trucks out in SoCal, and you know, he's running them all the way back east. These were dry loads, and he said that a couple companies called him, and he just cut to the chase with them. And we all know Tom, that's how he is. But he was like, "It's $10,000. You want my truck? It's $10,000. He's right by your load. That's it." And they were both taken back, but by the way he approached them, but it worked. They took it.
Oh yeah, and I think it's the same. And we used to be in the same market, you know, where you would call up, and it doesn't matter which broker it was that happened. They're not all three-letter brokers, but you call in like, you want it? It's $800. It's your truck, yes or no? And it's like, I got lines ringing here, and they're not going to give you more than 3 seconds to book it.
Yeah.
You know, and their commission lays on that as well. So it's good to see that the pendulum has swung and stayed out this direction, because so quickly it comes back the other direction, and we're begging for it again. So
yeah.
It's pretty cool. I like it. Yep. So winter driving. Kumar put together some things. Ray, we're into that season now where, you know, we're starting to see some snow on the roads. We got some snow up here several times over the last week or so. I think we have more coming next week, but it's kind of I've been watching the weather out west and stuff. It's kind of unseasonably warm. And I think it was pushing 70 degrees in Denver today. And up in Montana and stuff, I don't know exactly what the temperature was today, but there's a warm front that's coming through. So it's really not been very snowy in the United States, other than the Great Lakes area, which is where we're at, and like northern Michigan. Well, really all over Michigan's gotten some snow.
Bluebeard.
But some of the things, Nate, Kevin, Jim, what do you guys think about when we're going into snowy weather and you're going to be in it? What kind of things are you guys doing? Slowing it down, putting toothpaste on your lights, your headlights. That was one of the things I've never heard of.
I've never heard of that.
Go ahead, Nate.
I was going to say the only thing you can do is just slow down and take your time. Not getting any big rush.
Yep.
Have you ever
Stay
heard
away
of
from the big pockets of cars and trucks and stuff.
Yeah.
Back off a little
distance.
bit, let them thin out a little bit, then you go on your way.
Use
Oh, yeah.
toothpaste.
I can't tell you how many times I've been slow and staying in the granny lane and just minding my own business and have a truck fly right by me, and 15 minutes later there he is in the ditch. So,
Yeah. Have you ever heard of use toothpaste on headlights to improve visibility?
Mm-hmm.
no.
I haven't either.
I've heard of it, but I haven't heard of it.
Well, toothpaste you can use to take the glaze off of them. So
Right.
if you have headlights that are glazed, you can polish them with it, but it's like it's a week or two. It's not like the kits you can buy where you got to sand and buff them.
Yeah. I just thought that was funny. I mean, like, what kind? Close up or crest? What are you using?
Right.
Yeah. A couple things I know when I was on the road, I was driving down 71 going to Dayton from here, and I have a pretty good driving record, and there wasn't very many cars on the road, but my truck, it was snowy out, and the roads were relatively clear, and I wasn't going the speed limit. The speed limit was 70. I was going about 55, but the truck and trailer got squirrely on me and kind of buckled where the trailer came around and I could see it in my passenger side mirror, I could see all the writing on it and everything. And there was no cars around me. It was real early in the morning, and I wasn't I was in a rural area of Ohio, but that was one of the scariest moments I think I've ever had on the road. And I was going slower. It just, you hit a pocket of dry ice or whatever. And I don't know, I just got off the fuel. Jim Mackey, you tell me, I got off the fuel and I didn't hit the brake, and I just kind of steered my way through it, and the trailer got right back behind me. And then
You can let off sometimes, but sometimes you let off too soon.
Yeah.
I myself, I try to keep my foot in it a little bit just so I keep my tractor ahead of the trailer.
Yeah.
That comes from hauling the swinging meat, though.
Yeah, I think at one point I did get back on the fuel just to keep going, but I definitely got off the fuel and to get it back behind me. Then I stopped and changed my clothes after that.
Specifically your pants.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can remember one time hauling swinging meat. I had another driver behind me, and we was going along, and I don't know, it was another truck or got too close to the edge or what, but it didn't feel very good, but I knew I had to keep my foot in it. And I asked the guy behind me, I said, man, that didn't feel very good at all. What did it look like? He told me, he said he'd never seen anything like it before. There was 10 inches of air under my trailer tires on the passenger side. But I kept it on the road, kept it going.
Kevin, Nate, you guys been driving for a long time. You've been in the snow a lot. I'm sure you've felt some scary moments like that at times.
When I'd say my worst experience, I had the trailer come around like that one time, and there was a car on the side of the road on the right side, and there was a car in the ditch on the left side with a state trooper. And last second, I figured if nothing else, I don't know what's in the car on the right, but I figured the state trooper had a nice life, so it was going to be him that I was going to take out. But I managed to get him, but I managed to get it straightened up, and I got through it. But yeah, it's definitely an eye-opening experience. I was definitely ready to get stopped and get out of the truck at that point.
Yeah. I got actually, Nate, when we bought your truck,
Yeah.
I flew down to Dallas to pick it up, and I decided, well, I'm gonna try it out for do a few loads, because I flew down to pick it up to bring it back here. This was several years ago, and Joel, do you remember I went out to Boise, Idaho, and then you booked me back, and I was coming across that 84 out there, and all of a sudden, you know where dead I think it's Dead Man's Pass or whatever up there, but it was a complete whiteout, and real quick too.
Utah Idaho line.
And I had my headset on, and I'm talking to Joel, and I'm like, Joel, what's the next exit? He pinged me, knew where I was at, but I couldn't see anything, and he kind of guided me. He's like, all right, it should be about a mile or so up. There's an off ramp and an on ramp. You can get off there. Well, I did. I found it. And I got stuck down at the bottom, and I buried. My lights were covered in snow. That's how deep it was.
Like 15 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I had no shovel or anything. I didn't have much gear because I had flown to get the truck and just decided to run it for a week or two to see how it was. And I dug out by hand. I dug every tire out of that tractor by hand, was able to get it moving and got a running start, and then I made it back up onto the highway. But the snow had stopped. So I was able to, dig out, and I was able to see once but it was deep.
So what do you think you should have done?
What I should have?
Yeah.
I should have. I don't know. I mean, I made it through it. So Joel was more scared than I was. He was on the phone with me the whole time.
Buried.
He's like, "You're gonna die out there, man. There's nothing out there.
Search and rescue.
I can't even get a tow truck to you for days."
It's a 3-hour helicopter ride.
Yeah.
If you had my tips, you would have known that.
If I would have had Kumar's tips.
Listen to Kumar, man.
Yeah.
Don't listen to Joel.
So here's some of the tips. Christian, do you have in front of you? You want to read some of those?
I don't have them in front of me.
Okay.
I thought maybe Kumar would read them off since they're Kumar's.
Kumar, you want to read them? You got in front of you? We'll talk about them.
Ian, you want to grab me that sheet right next to you? Yep, right there. Yeah. So, made a list of trucking safety tips and hacks and whatnot.
First one's great.
First one, slow down.
That's it.
That's amazing. Wow. Yeah.
Second
we
one,
can just stop right there.
Yeah, show's over.
For a minute.
Keep a safe distance from other vehicles. We did talk about that. That was like first and foremost for you guys. It sounded like
keeping a safe distance is huge. That's also that's tied into one of the questions with Kumar this week too.
Also, carry a bag of kitty litter with you, because throwing it under your tires when you're parked is a good way to get traction to get moving again.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Mackey always had kitty litter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to get some more though.
Carry a hammer and putty knife to prevent air tanks from freezing due to snow or ice. Never stop when driving uphill on ice and maintain high RPMs. Do lower the RPMs on descent. Bump the idle up to between 900 and 1,000 RPMs to keep your engine at operating speed. Keep extra food, a shovel.
Shovel would have came in handy.
Yeah.
Joel.
Yeah, extra clothes, blanket in case you get stuck. Keep your fifth wheel well greased. If it gets too dry and cold, it's harder to turn. I'm sure you guys already know that. Wipe windows down with a small amount of antifreeze. Guessing probably keep the snow off your
I've never done that, but that's a big thing, Mike. I know out there in the winter when your windshield wipers start icing up, and you got to stop every 15, 20 miles and break the ice off of them. The window gets
especially
smaller.
in Florida and Texas.
Yeah, you know what works really well, man? Rain, snow, ice for the windshield part of it. I know the ice buildup. I mean, you can get the winter blades that they just have the rubber over it, over the.
They still ice up though.
Yeah, they're not as bad as the other ones, but Rain-X on the actual windshield.
Yeah.
Rain-X on the windshield, man.
It does work.
That
the moisture's not there to freeze. Yeah, that's great.
Ice and rain, anything really. I always use that on my
and fog X too.
The best thing is take all that off your dash so your defroster can work. You know how many of these drivers go down the road and their dash is just full of stuff.
Yeah.
They got no defroster. They
Until
can't
they're
get no
pulling
meat
in
up
the
there.
DOT,
And
That's
you'll
the first thing-
you'll get DOT'd a lot less. Right?
Yeah, that's the first thing
Yeah.
when you go across a scale house. The first thing they're looking at is how cluttered your dash is.
Yep.
That, and two, he brought up grease on the fifth wheel. See, that's kind of like a fine line there, because too much grease, when it freezes, it'll actually cause your jaws not to clamp shut properly or stuff like that too.
So Nate, the right amount of grease.
Right.
Also, pouring alcohol in your airlines too can help them from freezing up.
Cap full.
Yeah, we have a
And-
campaign. We do that right December 1st. It started today for us and our equipment.
Yeah.
Release your
And-
brakes.
And during the winters, I've developed the habit over the years, just when I'm parked at a truck stop, I will not pull my trailer brake.
I was going to
overnight,
say that.
Yeah,
because your trailer will
They'll freeze.
quick. Your tractor won't, but your trailer will freeze quick.
Yeah.
Well,
I
even
always-
if your tractor does freeze up, you've got power to try to break it loose.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but
Your trailer, you don't have any power. It's done.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, we always that's how I always did it. When you park at the truck stop or wherever you park, just pull your tractor brake and that'll hold, that's going to hold you.
make sure level, Mark.
Yeah.
Did you see?
And
You see the video Metal Arc put out on that too?
I didn't.
Yeah. So they posted a video. Stacy Collette and the team put an 8-minute video together about winter safety tricks and stuff like that as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is
Winter.
it
Yeah, I
on the
saw that.
YouTube, one of the YouTube videos they do? Because
Yeah.
I do watch them. I just haven't checked it lately. I'll have to check that out.
I saw it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cody.
okay.
Cody was out there. Yep.
That's why, because I'm not on Facebook. But
Did you mention carrying a bag of cat litter too?
yeah,
In case
he
you do
did
get-
mention.
You did mention. Okay.
He mentioned that. Finish that off, Kumar. What were the rest of your tips?
There are just two more. We already talked about the toothpaste, and then keep your diesel tank at least halfway full, and like we talked about a couple weeks ago, treat your diesel with anti-gel additive to keep it from freezing.
And Ray, the toothpaste. I know you just joined us, but the toothpaste is for when you get stuck somewhere and you got to brush your teeth, for like days on end. Bring extra toothpaste.
Those are guys away. Those are guys away from home, Russ. Just,
What teeth?
it's
I'm
Texas,
sure-
not
I'm
West
sure-
Virginia, guys.
I'm sure there's a few drivers that don't brush their teeth at all.
Their tooth.
They don't brush their tooth. All right, cool.
Speaking of winter too, did you notice, and going back to rates a little bit, do you notice in this, even though rates are climbing this week, and I have noticed it, do you notice in the South they don't seem to
Oh, totally.
climb as quick as the Midwest and stuff? Because I know, and I did it. I know a lot of my guys have asked, to stay south, or basically south of 40 for the winter. And I kind of ran that way too. I'd run in the Midwest and stuff in the winter, but I ran south for the winter, and I was getting a lot of trucks.
How much money do you
to
think
do
that
that.
cost you, Mike? If we're just spitballing. Because we,
If I'm not running for money, I can tell you, and just running for, just stay out of the weather. Right now, I can tell you it's costing.
Texas thought that last winter too.
It's costing
Yeah.
guys this
I
state
wanna
out
bet-
there.
It's costing you for sure. If I had to put a number
Absolutely.
on it, I'd say you'd probably end up, just off the top of my head, if you're running hard in each
Yeah.
location, Midwest versus South, I'd say at least $1,000 a week.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
Or
say
more too.
I was
I
gonna
was
say
gonna say a couple
1,500.
grand in revenue.
I'm just, I always try to figure low, but yeah, I'm
What do you
at
think,
least
Christian?
1,000.
I think, Russ, sometimes we start this podcast a little early. You now
Here
permit
you
them to
go.
That's why
do. They've been dying to do this for so long. This is
Yeah,
great.
and right
So-
on the air. I love it.
Hey,
I love
hey,
it.
that's Lois. Hey, that's Joy.
So, and for our listeners,
Yes,
drivers that are
last time we
listening,
took-
there's
never pick up
Chris.
lunch on Wednesday again. There's Chris.
Still waiting on that steak.
There's RJ.
Before we
Thanks, guys.
before we start recording, they do this to him just about every week. This is the first time, episode 34, we got it on film. That's great.
But I don't need to get them anything for Christmas. They're happy now. That's great.
Well, hey, speaking of Christmas, I have a little announcement for you, Mike Doty. So I promised Kelly I would do this on the show. So Mike's been working hard all year.
He's getting nervous. I can
And
look at him.
So, Mike,
Just-
we all conspired behind your back. So Mike wasn't going to make it to our Christmas party this year. We got a hotel downtown Cleveland, at the Renaissance right by the Jack Casino. And we got dinner at the Butcher and the Brewer, which is a really cool spot. I've never been there, but Tina showed me the place online.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And so it's our Christmas party. Mike wasn't going to come. He's like, man, I'm just so busy, maybe next year. So Mike, between our staff and Tina and Kelly, everybody went behind your back. Tina already took care of your hotel. I think you're actually coming in early. And then and Kelly got your Greyhound ticket. No,
Kelly's treatment.
Kelly's already got your flights worked out for you and her. So congratulations, Mike. We did it behind your back together as a team. You are coming to the Christmas party.
All right, I'll see you up there. Then. Yeah.
Surprise.
Mike, just to be very, very, very clear here, I was not conspiring. I was not behind the scenes. So I was I'm serious. I was not a part of it.
I'll see you up there.
And Kelly,
no, that's cool. I'll see you guys up there.
Kelly wanted to make sure we told you on the show.
Yeah, she does. Yeah,
that's great.
Bring your coat.
You look really happy about it too,
right?
Gonna be a great
I
time.
was thinking about it. I honestly just the kind of the push. This was the push, to get me up there. But I was thinking about it anyway. But I wasn't.
And we know Mike.
Bring your winter clothing.
Mike likes to stay home and fish. We all know that.
Yeah.
But
now he's gonna have to go buy some winter clothes.
No, and we know Mike has been working hard. He works night and day. We know that. So and Kelly, she even said it to us on the phone the other day. He needs a break. He needs this, and we all agree. So you're coming. It's all handled. Everything. Don't worry about it. See you in 3 weeks.
I've got this thing called the Ohio River too, Mike. You can fish there.
I will say that she better have got a plane ticket though, because Greyhound.
She did. You got plane tickets, but also fishing, Mike. We're gonna be, the hotel's like a stone's throw from Lake Erie. So if you bring an ice chisel or whatever you call that, you can go ice fishing while you're here.
Well, I was going to say there's also
fishing for down here in the warm weather. I'll just go up there and hang out.
What were you going to say, Kumar?
They make it easy by the fish just die and roll up on shore, so you can just go and pick one up.
Walk on Edgewater Beach.
Nice place.
Fishing in the flats.
You could walk from the Renaissance Hotel
Yeah, I was gonna say, Mike,
to the lake.
You.
Go ahead, Ray. I think we lost him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Mike, you can probably go to Goodwill and find a fur coat or something that you can use for a few days while you're up there.
Yeah.
And then redonate it back whenever you're done.
Yeah.
And Mike, I think I have an ice shanty because I did some ice fishing over the years. I still think I think I have an ice shanty somewhere, maybe at my mom and dad's house in the garage. So if you want to fish, we'll get you hooked up.
No, I can. We'll go up there and party and hang out. I'll save the fishing for down here. That ice fishing, I'll leave.
We're gonna
I'll leave the
party
ice
as
fishing
professional as possible.
The ice fishing I'll leave to the professional northerners.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about that.
You mean the men?
Yeah.
Just to be clear, the men.
Yeah. However you want to. I'll leave it to the men.
All right, Joel. Let's do some trucking questions with Kumar.
Trucking questions with Kumar.
Oh wait, before we do that, so who won the pick'em last week?
All right,
wasn't me.
Okay, well, week 12 pick'em. You want the results, do you?
Yeah.
No,
right.
no, we don't actually.
From the bottom to the top, or the top to the bottom. We'll do congratulations to Mr. Kumar.
Yeah,
our safety officer with 12 victories.
That's strong too.
Yeah. I'm taking you to the roulette table. Ian with 9 victories. Jameki, 8 victories. I'll save that one. Joel, 7. Ray Nieto, 9. Christian, good week. 10, unfortunately. That was second. And our bottom feeder of the week, brought to you by Bluebeard of Deaton Truckin. Russ.
I got 5.
With 5 wins.
That's the worst I've ever done.
Just if we're for math majors, that's half of what I got.
I think it's good to know the least amount of football as you can.
Congratulations.
It seems
Kumar.
that way.
Apparently.
So now
that's why I opted out.
So Kumar's got a win. That's good. Who won last? Who else has a win? Berkey or no?
This week, Kumar. Ian had 3 in a row. 11, 10, and 9.
But in the second contest, he only has 1.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, 2. He had week 10, week 11.
Yeah, he's up 2.
Oh.
Yep. So the 2 football experts. I'm taking them Take him to the sports side of the casino.
The first one, the week 9, he didn't count. We didn't count, remember, because he was late turning it in. But he won 10.
I think Ray has a technicality too on that, but yeah.
Okay.
He won 10 and 11. Kumar 12. Here
Wow.
we go. And for week 13, here's a name.
So I got to pay if the drivers. I got to pay.
It's going to be 2 times.
I got to pay everything this week.
This week I got myself, Ian, Russ, Johnny 5. Johnny 5, I had yours last week too, by the way.
I'll bring some money for
Sorry,
charity up there. I'll put in some money this week. I didn't fill mine out this week. I didn't even send it to Joel.
Oh, he's got to
That's
pay.
all right. Save it for the casino.
Yeah.
He's paying too.
Kumar won?
And no, Burke, Christian, this is this week's, and Ray. That's who I have so far. If you didn't hear your name, please get if you're going to play, get your sheet in.
Yeah.
And
Get your sheet together.
Get your sheet together.
By tomorrow night.
And I think you made me. Nope, I got them right here. Do you want to do questions now?
Yeah, let's do questions with Kumar. These are some pretty good questions. Joel and I came up. We worked on it together, so some are his, some are mine.
All right, here we go. Ready, guys. Question 1. What percentage of female drivers are in the industry? Is it A, is it 30%? Is it B, 22%? Is it C, 15%? Or is it D, 6%?
So Ray, Mackey,
I think I know
Jim,
this
hold
one.
on. Don't
Kelly
say
just
anything
told
yet.
me this.
Kumar gets to answer first. What percentage of drivers are female, Kumar, in the trucking industry? 30%, 22%, 15, or 6?
I feel like I saw this recently, but I'll go 15%. I think that's what it was.
Okay. It's a good guess. What do you say, Jim Mackey, Ray, Kevin, Nate?
I was like 30.
30%, 22, 15, or 6?
I'm gonna do 22%.
22%.
I'll agree with Kumar. 15.
15.
How many women are
I'll
you seeing at the truck stops?
22.
Nate, 22. Well, you guys are all wrong.
Those aren't drivers. It's
Yeah.
1%.
Yeah, it's 6%.
No.
6%.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, and I was
Only reason I know that is
actually thinking
Kelly
about that
just
in
saw that stat.
Kelly
Yeah.
did.
She saw that today?
Just the other day, she told me about it.
She gets her CDL,
Yeah,
she's going to be 7%.
I started second guessing my own answer because I started thinking about it is every time I go to truck stop, realistically, how many women drivers do you see at truck
You don't
stops?
see many.
Oh,
I mean,
No, it's not very many.
Yeah,
Here
none
and
in
there.
Texas.
No, there's not. And there's more though. They were talking about the article she was reading. It said that it said somewhere around 6% or something. It might have been something different, but I knew it was right there. But
honestly, when
there's
I was
more coming into the industry though.
when I was training coming into the industry years ago, there was quite a few at the bigger companies like Swift and Werner and those companies because they run team, so they're not alone. There was quite a bit at those kind of companies where there's you're not alone on the road. You got a team or co-driver.
Yeah. It makes it tough for women though. Training though, you got to go out 9 times out. Every place that I know of, when you just starting out, you got to go out with a driver, right?
Trainer,
to
yeah.
train, and you got to stay in the truck with them. Sleep with
Yeah.
them. So if that's a male, that's got to be kind of
Uncomfortable.
and for a woman,
Yeah, when I was a trainer at Express Carriers, I trained 3 women.
Yeah.
Sounds like a great business plan to anybody that wants to have 94% of the market share. Let's get a couple female trainers and get them going.
Yeah. Oh
Right.
yeah, we'd be in business.
We have one on our fleet. She's been driving forever. Joanna. She's a great driver.
Best one we've ever had.
A best. Yeah, she's awesome.
They're usually in the top 3 every
Yep.
time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right,
Joe
question
would have
2.
thought it would have been higher than 6%.
Yep. I didn't.
Yes, 15. All right, question 2.
So nothing.
Most trucking accidents are due mostly to what? Is it A, impairment? Is it B, talking on a cell phone? Is it C, sudden and unstable lane changes? Or is it D, winter weather?
Aliens.
Most trucking accidents are due mostly to what?
Is this
Impairment.
historic or recent?
Impairment, talking on a cell phone, sudden and unstable lane changes, or blizzards. What'd you say? Where'd this come from?
Me?
I was trying to find out whether it was historic, whether this was over a period of
let's make it
time.
historic.
So this way,
Joel-
Kumar
Cell
can,
phone.
can
Joel came
evaluate
up
whether
with this.
technology would be
This
the,
is a question that Joel got out of a fortune cookie.
Cereal box.
So
Come on.
are you saying, just to be clear, are you saying impairment and then giving an example of talking on a cell phone, or are they two different?
Two different things.
All these
Alcohol
are
or drugs,
are,
probably.
cause of accident.
Impairment would be under the influence, maybe.
Got it.
Most trucking accidents are due mostly to what? Impairment, talking on a cell phone is B. C is sudden and unstable lane changes, or D, blizzards. What do you say, Kumar?
I gotta say C. Sudden lane changes.
Okay. What do you say, Ray, Kevin, Nate?
Oh man,
Jim?
I'm gonna go with impairment.
Impairment. You think there's that many drivers out there running around
Can I change?
under the influence, Ray?
Who are you, Ray? Who are you training? And at least we know why they're drinking. They're like, I got Ray here. Got to have a couple drinks.
Well,
In my defense, though, when Meadowlark puts out how many people get busted for what in their DOT inspections, I was really surprised how many people were impaired.
Yeah.
Well,
I
it
couldn't believe
happens.
that.
But
I
it's
had to call
nowhere,
Russell and ask him.
it's
Yeah, the
nowhere
clearinghouse
near.
statistics was crazy. When they
Yeah.
had clearinghouse come out, it was like, that needed to be cleaned up. Yep.
There was
Yeah,
nowhere
I had-
near the amount of there's way more accidents though that happen
Yeah.
that are not impaired. But anyway, good
Can I
try,
change my
Ray.
answer?
Yeah, no, you can't.
No, you cannot.
But all you
Final
have
answer, and congratulations, Kumar.
yeah, Jim, did you guys have any idea talking on a cell
I'm
phone?
gonna say cell phone.
Cell phone
Yeah,
sudden
I'm
and
gonna
unstable lane
say-
changes.
I'm
Or
gonna say,
blizzards.
well, okay, is it blizzards or is it inclement weather?
It's winter weather.
It could be either.
Winter weather.
I mean, honestly, I'd say weather.
Weather.
That's what I
So
would go with.
Yeah.
Now they're gonna send me
I'd-
for a drug test.
Kumar,
Got it correct.
Yeah.
Ray,
Answer
we
was
need
C.
Our
we need-
safety officer.
Ray, we need you to call dispatch when you get your load delivered.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and
where you need to
when
go.
you're on an on-duty function, please.
Yeah,
You got
don't
picked
make
for
any-
random after Friday.
Stay on duty after you get empty.
Yeah, this is
Don't
by
make
the
any
way,
plans. Drink lots of water.
Ray, we can promise you
drink
this
too
is
much
not
water.
random. This is suspicious. This is different than random.
Yeah.
Reasonable
That's
suspicion.
suspicious.
So you guys are wrong, drivers, and I lost the pick'em, so I'm gonna. Not yet, but Kumar got that right. It was sudden and unstable lane changes.
It's the
Good
most
job, Kumar.
common-
Most common.
Most common. All of these account
Kumar gets that.
because he's the safety
Nice.
officer.
Yep.
You got the same fortune cookie?
It's 1-0.
That's it. Same restaurant.
Yeah.
It was the lane changes.
Yeah,
That was,
sudden
yeah.
and unstable lane
Yeah,
changes.
yeah.
Wesley Snipes had always
Check
bet
your
on black.
mirrors.
I'm always betting on Kumar.
Yeah. Good bet.
He seems to be getting smarter with trucking.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm getting smarter.
His brain is growing.
His brain is growing. Question 3.
That's all that tool he's listening to.
I was waiting for that.
It's just
My
a little
thing
now.
is, what were the drivers doing before the sudden lane change?
Could have been.
On their cell
Probably
phone.
the cell
They
phone.
could have been on their cell phones. Yep.
Road
In the
rage-
middle of a
Jumping
blizzard.
down on,
Road
jumping
raging,
down on
uh,
a hamburger.
You sound like an
Drunk
attorney.
on his phone in the blizzard.
If I ever go in court, Kevin, you're coming with me. Bud.
Right.
Here's the real question, Your Honor. Why did he pull out the gun to start off with?
Kevin's always been a guy that thinks outside the trailer.
Hey, you got to sometimes.
Yeah.
So, hey, Kumar,
Yeah.
a fully loaded truck traveling at highway speeds take about how long to come to a complete stop? Is it A? Is it 1 football field? Is it B? Is it 4 football fields? Is it C? 3 football fields? Or is it D? An ice hockey rink?
Or is it E, the length of Jim Mackey's beard?
Jim Mackey's beard. That's got to be
Jim
like
Mackey
8
hasn't-
football fields.
Yeah,
Right?
he's been growing his beard for 45 years since he's in Holland
Yeah, well,
swinging meat.
I just got it all trimmed and shaped up the other day.
I know you did. Your sister did or something.
I
right?
was gonna say, I think Nathan's beard's longer than his.
I
now.
should have said Nate's beard.
Yeah, it took
So-
her 6 months to cut it.
Fully loaded rig traveling at a highway speed, Kumar. How long does it take to stop? 1 football field, 4 football fields, 3 football fields, or an ice hockey rink?
It's a tough one, but I'd have to say 1 football field. I'm going to go with my first thought.
What do you say, Ray, Mackey,
No good break.
Nate, Kevin?
Why
1.
don't you put the size of the
4.
tractor trailer into the field before you answer the question, Kumar? How long is a tractor trailer?
How long is a football field?
What, 53 feet?
Oh yeah, you got it.
Right, for the trailer, and then you have the truck. So how many lengths of that truck do you think it takes to stop? Your answer is final regardless, but I just for the exercise.
I was gonna say, can I change my answer to 4 football fields?
No.
Darn it.
So drivers, what do you think?
Christian
What'd
trying to
you
get
say,
him to
Nate?
show his work in the math.
I say
problem.
three
Three.
football fields long.
Yeah,
3.
that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
3.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
You learned that in truck driving school, Kumar.
Yeah, I guess I wasn't thinking, but yeah, 1 football field would not be enough.
Now, if you can
What if
find a
it's
set of
empty?
brakes
He
to
needs to
slow
go
a
to
truck down,
orientation.
that's right. If you
Yeah,
can
he
find a
needs-
truck to slow down the length of a football field, you're
Some
retired.
drivers, 5 football
Yeah.
fields.
Right.
At a highway speed, yeah, that'd be pretty tough.
It doesn't have a trailer on it.
Yeah. No, it
Volvo's
said
gonna do
loaded.
it.
The question was a loaded trailer.
Yep.
Okay, question 4. That's 1-1.
Question 4. What do you call the traditional maneuver that you use to turn a tractor around a corner? Is it A, a button hook? Is it B, a lefty-loosey? Is it C, a righty-tighty? Or is it D, a cuff link?
I helped write this one.
He did.
I'll go with button hook. It sounds the most official.
So is it
Ball move.
button hook, a lefty loosey, a righty tighty, or a cuff link?
He said button hook.
You sure? Is that your final answer?
Yeah, I think. No, I'm never sure, but yeah, that'll be my final answer.
Drivers, what do you say? Button hook, a traditional maneuver that you use to turn a tractor trailer around a corner, a button hook move, a lefty loosey, a righty tighty, or a cuff link.
They're like, what are you talking about?
Button hook.
Button hook. You're right.
Button hook.
It is.
You got it.
Yeah.
So Kumar
Well,
gets another one.
Well, I know I only use righty tighty and lefty loosey when I have a screwdriver in my hand.
Or wrench.
And I don't care how old you
That's
get or
cool.
how often you use tools. Sometimes you just look,
Right.
which way
You
is this
still-
again?
Yeah, especially
every
when
time.
you're upside down or something.
That's right.
And you
And-
can't.
and a
it
sink underneath the
seems
cabinet.
Backwards. Yeah.
Yep.
Now they changed propane threads back to standard threads, right?
I don't know.
Because mine's righty tighty on my propane now, and it didn't used to be that way.
I think mine's left. No, who knows? I might be wrong.
Yeah.
The gray tanks, is it Blue? What's the company?
Blue Rhino.
Blue Rhino.
Blue
Yeah,
Rhino,
that's what.
yeah.
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 And they're
Actually,
they're down here too.
I just
Wherever.
had some gas pipe piped underneath the new deck out. So this year I won't have to buy tank or replace tanks anymore. It's going to be hard line of gas into the grill.
That's nice.
So that's going to be cool. I can't wait.
Make sure you don't leave it on, Russ.
Yeah.
And dye your face.
And yeah,
You come outside and smoke.
it'll
That's
be
probably what happened to the beard.
in the news with Ian. Trucking news with Ian. There's Barberton is gone. Okay, number 5.
All right.
Kumar, 2-1.
Kumar, I know you're a country music fan. In the Jason Aldean hit, Johnny Cash, how many miles from Las Vegas are the couple who wants to get married? Is it A, 288 miles? Is it B, 457 miles? C, 624 miles? Or D, 4,100 miles?
So
Quit my job. Oh, never mind.
sing it, Joel.
Yeah, go ahead. Sing
So I don't listen to a lot of country music, but Kumar, you don't? Do you?
it. No, not
Okay.
at all. No.
So there's a song that's
Sorry,
called
Christian.
Johnny Cash by Jason Aldean.
Can I
Great
call my
song.
brother? He listens to a lot.
And I've heard this
Can I
song,
call Johnny Cash?
but I don't know the answer. I do because I'm looking at it, but I didn't know it. Kevin and Nate, you guys listen to Jason Aldean?
That's pop music.
I mean, I listen to all kinds of music, metal, rap, country, all kinds of music, but I can't. I've heard the song, but I'm drawing a blank on the mileage.
Well, let's see what Kumar thinks. Is it 288, 457, 624, or 4,100, Kumar?
457.
457.
Yes.
Drivers, do any of you have an idea?
288.
What state was he in?
288. Jim Mackey, you ever heard that song?
Nope, never heard it. Got no idea.
A great song. It came out in like 03.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Five or
I'm gonna
something
go with
like
the
that.
600
Six.
mile one.
600. What do you say, Kev?
Yeah, I'm a same thing as Nathan because I had no clue.
600. Man,
All right.
Kumar got it again. It was a
Yeah.
straight up guess. He's
Always
winning
bet on
3-1.
He texted his brother.
It sounded
He didn't text. I was
like
watching.
as far as lyrics go, I feel like 457 sounds a lot better.
Yeah.
Than all
Yeah,
the
I
other
was gonna
ones.
ask
good
where
way
they're
to look
coming
at it.
from.
All right. Well, I'll sing it next week.
He'll
So
sing it
you
next
you
week.
thought through
We
how
have
many
one more
miles
question.
are inside of a country song. Let me get this straight. But when we start going tractor trailer lengths to football field, completely out of the question.
Well, I am an
So
anchor man.
Kumar's gonna win this one clearly. I'm gonna have to donate.
I got one more question.
But no, I know. But we're gonna do one
Save
more
it.
question. Just no. Let's do it because it's a good question. I thought it was pretty funny.
Is Joel not singing the song? Like, this is disappointing. This is the second episode where Joel
And he
hasn't
wrote the
sung.
question. I thought he was gonna sing it too.
Hey, next week. Back
Next week.
He would
That would have helped.
We should make an audio album of Joel singing.
Kumar,
Joel's greatest hits.
that would be good.
Yeah,
Carol
hey,
would
yeah.
help.
Oh yeah, I'm working
Clip.
on something. Don't worry.
Facebook clip.
Here we
He's-
go.
All right, let's do it.
Kumar. All right, from country to rock. Here we go. From New York City to Los Angeles, it's approximately 2,800 miles. If Sammy Hagar was a truck and had to follow DOT hours of service rules, if he had to drive 55 miles per hour, how long would it take him to drive from New York to L.A.?
Multiple choice.
Need to text your brother.
Yes. A, 4.5 days.
Oh, you wanted multiple choice. Okay. A, 4.5 days. B, 5.5 days. C, 3 days. Or D, 7 days.
So if Sammy Hagar had to drive and follow DOT hours of service, how long would it take him to get from New York to L.A.,
I would have pulled over by then.
which is approximately 2,800 miles? 4.5 days, 5.5 days, 3 days, or 7 days?
4.5 days. Yeah.
What do you say, drivers?
I'm gonna go with. That sounds about right. It was what was the after the
4.5 days. So New York to L.A.
At 55 miles an hour.
at 55 miles an hour. It's 2,800 miles,
11
and you
hours a
got to
day.
follow your DOT hours of service. 4.5 days, 5.5 days, 3 days, or 7 days.
Scrambling for the calculator.
You guys do
I'll go-
this relatively. I mean, you're not coming
yeah,
out of
I
New
know.
not
York
at
City.
55 though.
Yeah,
I'll go with 5.5 days.
Yeah, 5.5.
yeah, I'm gonna go with 5.5.
Yeah,
It's
5.5.
4.5. Kumar got it
According
again.
to Russ's math, it is.
I did the math today.
But it's kind of a trick question because don't
I thought
think
you were going to
he
say
can drive
7.
55, can he?
But I
Well-
don't. But if you do the math,
It
like
took him
that,
15
at
hours to
Four
get
and a
that
half. If you do the math right and you do 4.5
I was
days,
16.
that's
Comes
still
up too
isn't-
short.
But
it
you're
still comes up
gaining.
short.
You drive
Yeah, you
11, you take a 10. In a 24-hour period, you're picking up 3 hours. I did it like that. And it's close. It's not exact.
So you're
4.5.
not doing a pre and post trip inspection for 15
Yeah,
minutes?
yeah, that's
Yeah,
part
or
of it.
fuel, or
That's what
I'm asking for my
Yeah,
DOT friend.
break. You don't
Depends
take
on
no
what
5-hour
time.
breaks either.
Yeah.
So you're not doing your 30-minute break in your first 8 hours. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, and then
Make sure.
you're,
yeah. So you're
You just
not
called yourself
legal,
a safe
so
driver 20 minutes ago?
4.5 days is not right.
Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah.
make it
So the
work.
answer we were looking for was 4.5 days, which Coom got right.
yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Bonus
Thank-
question.
Thanks for
So
getting us
that-
back on
that's
track.
3-1.
Ian.
I blew you guys out, huh?
Yeah, so I got to pay the St. Jude's this week. I'm
That
gonna
was
write
a good
down.
question.
Won the
I like
football
that.
poll. What a good week for you.
It's going to cost me this
It's a
week.
lucky
150 for the beer.
Terrible week for you.
Not looking
25
good.
for the talking trucking.
Does
How much is that per
anybody
game,
know?
being that you only won 5 of them, Russ?
What's that? I didn't
How
hear
much
you.
how much money per game is that since you only won 5 games?
I don't know.
a lot.
A lot. So yeah, Kumar, man, you nailed it this week, except for that first question, and you were close.
Safety
Ian,
officer.
what were you saying? Does anybody know the fastest drive that anybody's ever done from New York to LA? How many hours?
The Gumball Rally. What?
Patrick Franks
It
did
was-
it in a reefer.
One of the Cannonball rallies.
Cannonball.
Cannonball, yeah.
The Cannonball Run. It is 25 hours and 39 minutes drive from New York City to Los Angeles.
Well, like straight through.
Straight through.
The 100 cops chasing them.
How many yellow jackets is that?
Well, there was a couple of guys that did it a few years ago in a sports car, and they actually took video and put it up on YouTube of them doing it.
Mhm.
They,
I think that's
Yeah,
something they do.
this one is on online too. The 25-hour one. They did it in the middle of COVID, so they don't expect anybody to be beating their record anytime soon because the roads were basically clear. So
25 hours.
25 hours and 39 minutes.
Wow.
And what was their minimum speed they had to maintain in order to get that, though? That's the question.
I think, right here, their average moving speed was 112 miles an hour with a max speed of 175.
Wow.
They did it in an Audi that was disguised to look like a Ford police car.
They were impersonating an officer on top of it.
In every state.
Wow. Did they take historic Route 66 or did they?
No.
And see, when you're doing stuff like that, I mean, you got the driver and then you have the spotter, and the spotter's over there like paying attention to like 50 freaking things, making sure there's no cops or anything.
Yeah, and they even have people running in front of them as well, volunteers. So pretty incredible.
To take the ticket.
So yeah, to either take the ticket or just to keep an eye out.
Well, that's insane.
Yeah. Mackie, what was your fastest run? L.A. to New York.
I was just sitting here thinking about that, and I think when I was running team with my ex-wife, I think we did it like 2.5 days.
Yeah.
Dang. Well,
My
Joel,
fastest.
we've been coast to coast in 2.5 days, Joel.
Have we?
I think so. Yeah.
That was
Joel's
in the analog days before they.
Yeah,
They're not talking about the Atlantic coast to the Gulf Coast. They're talking about the Pacific.
No,
to
we're
the
talking
Atlantic
West Coast. But Joel we used to park the truck after a couple of day run to the West Coast, and Joel would be like, "We got enough miles to make a pilot jealous, Russ." That was awesome. Used to crack me up.
Yeah, well.
All right.
I saw what some of these guys were running, and I'm like,
So since you're on to it, Ian, let's go. Let's get into some trucking news. See what's going on in those ports.
Let's see here. All right. Screen share. Here we go. All right. So this looks totally different from a few weeks ago when we last looked at it. This was just dotted with ships out here. There was 80 from here to
83,
here.
I think, last week.
And that was including the ones that are kind of tucked into the port here, or the bay. But now what we're seeing, like Russ had mentioned before, they are now making them wait way further out. I'm guessing that there was some kind of directive that was released saying that you guys are all too close. There's not enough room to travel safely. You guys need to start moving out further. So there's a bunch of these ships now that are just drifting out here, way out.
So the one guy that I listen to every week from the DAT, Ian, I forget his name, but he's from Australia. He's the one with the accent. He said that yesterday he said he flew home. He went to Australia for Thanksgiving, and when he was flying back, he flew over there into LA. Yeah. And he said there was a couple hundred ships sitting, not just the 51 that were in anchor in port, but he said it was pretty amazing sight to see since he reports on this every week. But he said there was at least 100 to 200 ships sitting out there that he could see from the plane that were pretty far off the coast.
Wow. There is a little bit of news inside the port of LA. Apparently, since this is another week that they have gone with the numbers improving, they have been waiving the empty container fees. They have pushed it out another week, which I don't know if that's helping or not, but they are waiving that for ocean carriers that are not getting their empty containers off of their docks. Moving up to Seattle, it is still looking very busy up there, over near Portland as well, and down into Texas. Quite a few actually outside of Houston that we have seen there.
In Louisiana.
Yeah, New Orleans and Louisiana has been very busy. Over here, I think, that's over by Mobile there. I'm trying to think. Your ship might be down here, Mike, where you're getting all your wood from.
Yeah, Pascagoula is right there somewhere.
Oh, wow. And Savannah is still also booming, waiting to get ships in there as well. And Miami slowed down a little bit. there was a few out there, but not many anymore.
Doesn't reefer produce season start kicking off in December? I mean, I'm not a reefer guy for the most part, but
we need Tom for that.
I know. I asked him if he was going to come on and talk a little bit about it, but he was still working. Christian, do you know your guys hauling any reefer stuff in December out of Florida?
No, we just mark right before Mother's Day, flowers, and get that run. That's usually when we mark it. And I know Tom's a little more experienced in that direction.
Yeah, I just happened to hear it today that they kick off, and I don't know, maybe it's a small amount or whatever, but they do kick off some kind of produce. I don't know where it's coming from, probably South America. But I'm going to look into that this week, or I'll ask Tom about it tomorrow.
The Freightos CEO did say that it could take up to 2 years for the vessels to catch up to the freight demand.
Wow.
So, I mean, I know we said, hey, hopefully this runs through 2022, but just for the ships to catch up to the demand, let alone the ports catch up to the ships.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, China
that's why they
is
call it supply chain,
cracking
guys,
out
'cause it
ships like
chains.
crazy.
Yeah.
As well. Moving on. Just something I found interesting. There's this ship out here off the coast. I cannot pronounce that. It's an island east of Madagascar here. This ship has been stuck here because a few days ago, the chef murdered the captain. Apparently, he had been calling him some names he didn't like, and this ship is now stuck here during an investigation of why this chef murdered the captain of the ship. So, wasn't expecting that today.
That's probably where my
I've always said you don't mess with people that make your food, but I didn't mean it like that. I didn't think.
Gives a whole new meaning to Captain's Choice.
You can't beat him in the kitchen.
I just meant keep him from spitting in your food, maybe,
Yeah.
but
not serving him.
And then I'm sure you guys did see that the huge spending bill did get passed. We are going to be getting a lot of money for some road projects. The Owner-Operator Independent Driver Association has sent a letter to Mr. Pete Buttigieg to see if they can help influence to allow $1 billion for truck parking. I thought you guys would love to hear that. Hopefully we can find some more spaces for you, because I can't tell you how sick I am of hearing, oh, I couldn't park here because it was full, or I couldn't park here, they wanted too much for parking. I mean, you guys should not have to deal with that. There should be ample parking. There should be too much parking for you guys.
And this goes out to Transportation Secretary Pete. We just appreciate you watching the show and taking our advice on to get some truck parking out there.
Big time.
Yeah, huge fan.
Nice plug. I like it.
So hopefully we see something come out of this, and we can get some more parking spaces for you guys out of it.
Yeah. A lot of that money is going to go to New York, and they're still going to charge us for parking.
Right. It's not even there's a lot of areas too, if you like, wasted space that could be used for truck parking, in some of these cities, that lots or whatever that's not being used. They could at least, almost immediately add some truck parking in some areas. I know, because you see it all the time, lots that are just vacant or not being used.
Right.
I don't know who owns them, but
what that makes me think of, Mike, is quite a few episodes ago, I did a story. There was about Minneapolis who put out a new order.
Bans.
No truck parking on the streets at all. Well, maybe you guys should make somewhere for them to park if you have a problem with it.
You're dead on. It's a multifaceted problem. You're right. I mean, you've got not only the culture of people wanting to have trucks in the area, but also the security of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you think about who really wants that in their backyard. I'm sorry, you got to pick where you live, but
if I had a reefer running next door to me 24/7, I'd be a little ticked off.
So speaking of parking, here in Barberton, Christian, we have you've been here at our office.
Yep.
So we're in a strip mall. There's doctors' offices, and we do have some parking for during the day out front. We can fit 3, 4, 5 trucks, 6.
Yeah.
But we have a yard across town that we lease from the city, and it's nice. It's big, and we can park overnight there. Some of our guys do. but during Robert Selby was here, Ian. It was a little while ago, maybe a month or so ago, and I told Robert he was here for a couple days. I said, no one's gonna, you can park out there in front of the office. It's not a big deal. We're not like stacking 6, 7, 8 trucks out there. City never says anything. So on the Facebook group in Barberton, I don't know who they were. I don't get on there. Tina was livid because they were complaining because there was a truck parked out there. There ended up being 2 other trucks the next day that weren't ours.
There's a couple of local guys who park over there.
Yeah, and they're guys that just live here, and I don't know who they.
There's
work
nothing
for.
wrong with that.
Yeah. So they're all out of the way, and they're in an empty lot. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
The Winks drive-through is gone. It's closed. And so now on this Barberton page, this Facebook page, they're saying, well, that's the problem. The drugs that are coming into Barberton because that trucking company has trucks parked out. They thought they were ours. Only one of them was, and it was Robert Selby in a 2020 W9, one of the a $200,000 truck. And one of the nicest guys, been driving forever. He's not bringing drugs into old Barberton.
If he is, he's doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job.
There's a lot of them.
But it really struck a chord with Tina, and that's when I started reading it because, first of all, I felt I've never had anyone attack my business, our business, here in Barberton, and the city's been great to us. But this wasn't the city. These are citizens in a group, in a Facebook group. But they were going on and on about that's the problem. The drivers are bringing and Tina, I didn't get on. I don't have Facebook, so she got on there, and I read what she wrote. Actually, the next day, she was on there for hours, and she was going at them about
Good for her.
How it's not the drivers. So you think and how the drivers. How do you think they get their CDL if they're bringing heroin and they're doing heroin and doing all these things? Have you ever realized how regulated the DOT is of the trucking industry?
Yeah,
how
right.
hard and expensive it is to get a CDL? She went on and on and on. And she was even asking me questions about how hard it was. How much does it cost to get a CDL? And because she was putting it on there and they shut up eventually.
Well, we
And
look
she
at
had
ignorance.
But
yeah,
that's
and
just
then
one
she had
note.
people.
That's what it is. It's ignorance.
They had
don't-
people
they
jumping
just
on
assume.
defending us after she got done with them.
Well, good and good for
Russell,
Tina, by the way.
Go ahead, Christian.
One of the things that I will say this, and it's a double-edged sword too, because as there's probably a lot of people out there that would allow you to park in places that are their property where there's nothing on it. But like I said, there is another side to this coin too, and how many drivers will respect the property that they're actually parked on? And you can see it all over the country. You go somewhere and you see Tang bottles,
Trash.
You see trash and a bunch of Tang bottles, thrown everywhere, and that,
bottles.
and a lot of us are, us drivers that do respect the property, we're getting hurt because of the other drivers that don't.
Well, it starts
That's one
with
of the reasons
starts
why
with
we
us.
can't park at Walmart anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does. It starts with us, as you as the driver. It's just you taking care of you not throwing trash out your truck. I mean, I've picked up trash that was in a truck stop before because I'm definitely not a litter bug and I wouldn't do it. But it does, and that's where it starts with yourself. If you do
It actually starts at home. I mean,
Yeah.
let's be honest. It's about
How you grow up.
accountability and having consequences. And unfortunately, there's some broken family dynamics out there and parents that aren't stepping up. I think the difficult part, Russ, and what you said earlier, is that they're so easy to look at a truck. But when you have a plane flying over your head and you buy a house, it's there. When you have a train that runs through your neighborhood, right? And in Bedford, we have it all over the place. It's historic. It's something that people have come accustomed to. Well, this is the mode of transportation for goods today.
Yeah.
But they don't. No one really, and generally not no one, but most people don't look at it that way. That says, hey, this is not only how I get my goods, but how I consistently get my goods. So we have 2.5 acres up here in Roanoke. So anybody listening, I don't care if you're with us or not. We're on Cherokee Street in Roanoke. Just come and park in a lot.
And we're the same way. We've got plenty of parking. A lot of our drivers park in the yard over there. And anyone listening to this show, you can get a hold of us. We'll tell you where you can park. And it's the city's property. We've leased it from them, and they've been very, very good with they're diligent about patrolling it. And Ian, Joel, we go over there to the yard on a regular, and we're making sure, and it's clean. No one's throwing trash out. I've got trucks over there. We've got some trailers over there. Whoever's parking there, our guys, they're not littering. That would make me upset, and I would know who it was because I know who parks there. So, but
could I add one more thing too?
Yeah,
if you don't mind. This is one of the things that everybody that I talk to who are drivers, one of the things that I preach too. You can ask Mark Chavez. I hammer this to Mark Chavez all the time. But how many times have you pulled away from a dock and they leave there's a lot of like broken wood pallets and dirt. There's a lot of stuff in your trailer. Yeah. And I'll pull off and I'll park somewhere out of the way. I'll grab my leaf blower and I'll blow it all out to the back of the trailer and onto the ground. And after I got done, I literally pulled the bag out of my pocket and I started picking up all the pieces and stuck them in a bag. And I had the guy that was actually in receiving come out there and tell me, hey, I was going to come out here and get after you for dropping all that stuff on our property, but you're the first driver I've actually seen that picked up your own mess. So I really can't. Yeah, I really can't say nothing bad.
I've done that too. In my side box, Ray, I've had bags of broken wood pallets because when I put it in a bag, I'll look around if there's not a dumpster or something. I'll throw it in my side box, and then it'll end up sitting there because I'll forget to throw it out. But
right.
And I got a leaf blower, so after you pick up all the trash, you can take a leaf blower and blow just the dust out to the grass or whatever. It doesn't matter, but. I've always said, you gotta do the right thing. When it comes to trash and stuff, you gotta do the right thing, even though you think nobody's looking.
Because they look at us all as a whole,
Yeah.
And that's really how we're viewed in the trucking industry as drivers, as a whole. If one guy does it the wrong way, they think we all do.
Yeah. You can sit in the truck stop, and you can, because you're on a break or whatever. And watch the drivers. Most of them will take their trash and throw it in the trash can. But then you got probably 5 to 10%. They'll walk along, they'll just throw it on the ground. If only they carried another 10 foot, they could have put it in the trash can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the people that are creating the problems for all of us.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would say that's also probably why more truck stops are starting to charge. I mean, they have to go out and clean.
They got to hire somebody to keep up the property. And if you go to Love's, there's no excuse. There's actually a trash can every other parking spot.
Oh yeah!
Oh wow!
Yep. Yeah, Love's is good about the trash cans. There's some of those. There's some of those truck stops though, man. There'll be 2 trash cans for
some of the mom and pop
100 spaces.
Yeah,
and then that one trash can, there's just trash all around it.
So funny story. We have a dumpster in the back of ours, one of the giant dumpsters, and we let guys park here. It's no big deal. They throw a trash bag in. All of a sudden, we came in and I think it was Brian came in, so the trash can's full. The dumpster's full out. So I'm like, dumpster's empty like 3-4 days ago. So I went back out there and there's all these black construction bags. I mean, just large trash bags. And out of principle, okay, and don't judge me, I was not dumpster diving looking for anything gold. I was looking for an address. And about 4 bags in, I found a letter with an address. Nice. And I have a Yukon XL. And so I put all the trash in the back of my car. And I went down. It's about 5 blocks down the road, and I tossed it back in front of his house. Now, the bags were closed when they were in my dumpster, but peeling through them, they were open. So I imagine the next morning when he woke up, he had trash and stuff. There you go. Trash and stuff all over his front yard.
I love it.
Did he come back at you?
Well, now we have cameras too, which is fun.
Love a good trash.
That's like
that's it. Street justice.
That old 70s song from I forget the guy's name. Thanksgiving Day Massacre. That's how they got in trouble in the song. It's a 20-minute song. I love it. What's his name? Do you remember, Joel? But he got in the whole song is a story about him dumping garbage over a cliff, and then the police found an envelope with someone's name on it, and they came and arrested him for it. Thanksgiving Day Massacre. I forget the guy's name, but
meanwhile, that where you drop those bags off at, they're calling their contractor. Hey, I thought you took all these.
Yeah, right.
I thought
heavy duty bags. I didn't think of that.
Why are they here at my house?
That's right.
So at the apartment building, the building I got downtown Barberton, for our tenants upstairs, I have a dumpster on the back up the alley side, and for about a year, we just had a dumpster there, and then I didn't realize, because I'm not over there all the time. I'm not one of the tenants that's throwing trash in that dumpster. And then when we were doing some work in the building, one of the tenants told me, "Oh, I don't use that dumpster. I take my trash to work and throw it in the work dumpster." I'm like, "Why? I pay for that dumpster." They're like, "It's always full." And so that was the problem there. Everyone in town was using it, and it was filling up soon as they would empty it. And so what I did, I called the trash company, and they brought a new dumpster with the lid that has a chain over it, and it locks, and it has a lock on it. And then they gave me the key for all the tenants, and I gave everybody a key, and now it's solved the problem. You can't open it without a key. So you might want to look into that. Your trash company probably has those, Chris.
No, I got a tag reader on the camera, so when they come in, it reads their tag.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and it's motion activated. It's funny.
I had to jump in, Russ.
Oh, Tom's here. He texted me.
Reefer.
Yeah, so we were talking about it. So what'd you book, Tom? I know what it is. He texted me. He booked Joanna out of SoCal.
Northern Cal, one pick, one
NorCal.
drop to a Popka, $14,250.
Whoa.
1 and 1 on a reefer.
Wow.
Northern Cal
That's
too.
a record. I never-
What is that? Apopka, Florida?
Yeah.
$3,000, 3,000 miles.
Probably, yeah. 14 something. That's.
Hey, Tom, is that already loaded?
Wow.
I ain't telling you where it is.
Well, no, I'm not worried about that. I had the habit of eating my lasagna before it was cooked. I'd brag about a killer load, and then sorry, we're going to send you a truck order not used. You're
Keep
like,
an eye on the board so they don't post that again.
That's right.
Truck order not used.
Hey, Tom, we mentioned earlier, though, on the show, we're getting ready to get off here, but I saw today or yesterday on the DAT, they were talking about Florida produce starting in December, and that kind of threw me for it does, huh?
No, it's always got the winter fruit.
So there is some stuff that's getting ready to start.
Yeah. Peppers have started down there by Mike down Tampa area.
Yeah.
So the rates will start, coming up. And that's why when I got this rate, I didn't care if Florida was dead. I still would.
Right.
Oh, no one would have blamed you for that.
You deadhead to Ohio after that if you needed to.
Wow. Joanna's going to have a good Christmas.
Joanna said, I owe them $4,000. I can pay them off.
Yeah, we loaned her some money to fix her truck, and she's been great about this was literally, 5-6 weeks ago, and it was a lot of money. And I told her I've never been on the hook with anybody for this amount of money but I trust her, and she's knocked it more than half of it out already in about a month. So
Just to let you know where Tom landed on that. So I just pulled up Redding, California to Apopka. Redding, California to Apopka, Florida. And last 15-day trend average is 10,357. Top on there, just to let you know, you've out earned it $2,800 from their top 15-day reporting.
Nice.
Yep. Good job, Tom.
Good job.
nice load, Tom.
I couldn't believe it. Then the guy said, you got a lot of to beat me up on the rate from what I'm offering you. And I said, that's my job, dude.
That's right. If you can find a cheaper truck, hang up the phone. Thanks.
What was it posted for?
They probably didn't have a rate on it when
Didn't even have a rate on it.
So, Tom, real quick, did you negotiate that rate with them, or did you just say it's 14 strong, or did you start off at 16.5 and work your way back?
Well, I'm curious where they
He
started.
told me, I could tell a lot of these guys, you can tell in their voice, their nervousness.
Yeah, I love it.
It was like, I got to get this picked up, and I thought that was the wrong thing.
Yeah. I told them about what you said to me yesterday, when you knew what you had, and he had 2 trucks out there on a dry load, and I didn't say who called you or anything, Tom, but he cut right to the chase and told him, you want my truck, it's $10,000. It's $10,000, that's it. Take it or leave it.
It's 14 now.
And they took it, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was for a dry load, though. This is a reefer load that he's talking about now.
Make your brokers nervous.
Yeah. That's a great one, Tom.
That was, I couldn't believe it. That's probably the highest That's the highest reefer load I did on Cali.
For this week, Tom. Now, next week, we want to call back at least 14.5. You got to keep pushing the rates, Tom. I love it.
And I called Austin and I said, dude, I just sent you Raycon. Get it signed now.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah. That's the one you follow through with. Yeah. Well, Tom, I don't know if you can see us, but drivers and stuff, we've got some shirts here. Christian, I'm going to mail you one. And Mike Doty, I'll get yours and Kelly's in the mail tomorrow, and Tom's. But these are the shirts. They say Talkin Truckin on the sleeve.
Looks like
they're pretty cool. Christian, it says Deaton Fleet right here, so you're just going to have to deal with that.
Hey, I'll wear it all day long, man. I love your swag. It's good.
Yeah. But we got a bunch of them. And so Carol wanted to mail them to drivers, but I like seeing our drivers, so you got to come and get them, guys.
You
So
better
can
tell
come,
Tom he's the one that dispatches us.
you can come through here. You tell him, or he's on the line. He knows.
You're about to take 14 grand down to 8.
Yeah.
That's an expensive
just to
t-shirt.
get his T-shirts. So, but thanks for joining
don't
us.
give them to drivers to get to you because
Well, that's what happened with the short sleeve summer ones we got. I sent I was gonna mail Tom's. I mailed Mike's and Kelly's, and then AJ was here in the office, and he goes, "Oh, I'm going down to Tom's. I'm going right through there." And Tom books him and stuff, and AJ said, "I'll take him to him." And Tom never saw him. He never got him to this day.
Thief.
I got an idea then, Russell. Why don't we get a bunch of key drivers and we all route ourselves down there to pick up the shirts at the same time and try some of that smoked rib, that prime rib again.
Oh, that prime rib, yeah. I got
after
some in the
holidays.
freezer. There you go.
You want me to
Convoy.
walk up here to AJ's truck and see if he still got them?
Yeah, they're together.
Repo Man's
He's
coming.
funny.
He's parked in front of me.
That's funny.
He'll probably say, "Yeah, I got it, but I got to wash it first."
Tom said-
they're probably still laying wherever he put them.
Tom said he don't want them after they've been in AJ's truck for that long. He don't want them. That's what he told me. So, but hey, thanks for joining us, Tom. Christian, you got anything else before we get out of here?
Now, I got some stuff that you guys touched on last week about the relationship with you and Joel, trusting, things like that, revenue and relationships for next week. Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
No, this has been great. Love the show today.
Doty, anything?
No.
Okay.
The song was Alice's Restaurant.
Alice's Restaurant by who's the singer?
Draft Dodge, not the
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Alice Cooper.
No.
Arlo Guthrie? Guthrie?
Arlo Guthrie.
Yeah,
Christian.
there it is.
So what year was that song? Because last time I was told it looked like
68.
Grizzly Adams
Six-
from 1974.
This has got to be early 70s.
It was
Yeah, it is.
67.
67. I wasn't even born. I was born in 72. So, but I know it. It's a classic. And you know what's funny? The reason I know this, it's a 22-minute song. It's more of a story.
18 minutes and
18 minutes.
seconds.
It depends what version you get. When Nathan and Matthew, my sons, were young, and we'd go on summer vacations, I would make them listen to it. It was something to listen to. They didn't have podcasts and stuff back then to listen to when you're driving, and we would listen to that song over and over again. I love the story, and yeah, both Nate and Matt hate it now to this day. So check it out.
What about Susie Cream Cheese?
I don't know that one. Do you, Tom? Do you remember Alice's Restaurant?
Yeah. And what
Yeah.
about
That just
Don't
don't
Eat
sound right.
Yellow Snow? Come on.
Is that Zappa?
Frank Zappa.
Oh, yep, it's
Frank
Zappa.
Zappa.
Yeah.
We are not
Robert
allowed to play
Earl
Zappa
King's,
in the office anymore.
Merry
Well, he's got an
Christmas.
instrumental song.
That's Tom's crew.
Good.
Zappa, the boys.
All right. So before we get out of here, Kumar has a few things he wants to say.
Yeah, just don't forget to go on social media, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. Look us up, Talkin Truckin, and give us a follow and like our stuff.
And with that,
And don't forget to
Go.
watch Championship.
and
Saturday.
Joel, we got caught up in way down a rabbit hole with trucking
know
stuff.
it.
So we'll catch up on sports next week too.
Right.
Womp womp.
And with that, go Guardians, go Browns, and go Cavaliers.
Monsters.
Doty, don't be taking my name off and splitting commission with Russ on that one.